In this video, we will look at creating custom menus. Custom menus will really just allow you to really take full control of the navigation on your website. And to do this, we go to Appearance and Menus. And just one thing to note, that depending on the theme that you are using, then this menu may be slightly different. You may see additional options, you may see multiple areas for menus. It really does depend, but no matter the theme, the concept is pretty much the same. Okay, so if we just go back over to our site, you will see that, and let me just say that since the last video, I just went ahead in preparation for this video, I went ahead and created another page and a few posts with under a new category called football for demonstration purposes. Okay, so if you see the site looking a little different, then that's what has happened. So by default, what has happened is that all the pages that we have been created have been added to our menu, and based on what I'm seeing here, they've just been added in alphabetical order. Now you can take full control of this. You can put the video page here in whatever order that you please in your menu, and you can also add categories to your menu. So if we go back over to our menu option, now what we need to do is give our menu a name. So there are no custom menus in this theme, so we have the option to just type in a name here, or we can go ahead and create a new menu from the option here. And so we can just call this main menu, and this is just for our purposes to know what the menu is for. And we can just go ahead and select create menu. And to add items to our menu, then on the left hand side you'll see a list of all your pages. And well, we only have 4 pages, but you would have had the option to view all and to search for specific pages if you had a lot of pages in your site. So I'm just going to select all these pages and select add to menu. Okay, so as you can see here now, all our pages are under our main menu. Now to move around the order of the pages, you simply put the cursor, and if you see this, the icon here appear, and whatever page or link is at the very top here would be the first that would be displayed on the menu. So if you wanted this to show last, then you would put it at the bottom, and so on and so forth. So another thing we can do is to have submenus. So if, for example, another page was a sub page for our sample page, to get it to show below our sample page as a drop down, we simply just drag it out to the right, and it will appear in our menu. So in our navigation, this will appear as the main page, but when we hover over it, another page will be shown just below it. Okay, and we can also add links, so it does not only have to be pages that we've created on our site. You can just also add a link. Say, for example, all you have to do is click on this drop down arrow, put the link. So say, for example, you had another website, or if you wanted to link to your Facebook page or your YouTube channel, and you just put the URL there and what you wanted the text to say. So I'll just say, like us on Facebook, and then you can add to menu. And then from there, you can, again, just drag and place this page wherever you want in the order. And I'm just going to stop this video here because it's getting a little long. And in the next video, I'll show you how to add categories to your menu. Okay, so to add a category to your menu, and this is, I mentioned before, if you have, say, a sports site, which is the example I used, and you have different kinds of sports, and you wanted to just have a link or a page with all the different types of sports and have it categorized, then what you do is that when you are creating your post, you put them in the respective categories. And like I said, I had created some posts with the category football, and I'll just select add to menu, and it's been added to our menu. And if you notice these drop down arrows beside each of the pages and links, you have additional options. So as you can see, the category of football has a common F there. I want to have a capital F just to maintain uniformity. And we have some additional options here where we could move this item one up. We can place it under another page, or we can move it to the very top. And we can also remove it completely from our custom menu. Okay, just one more thing I want to show you with our menu, custom menu, is that you can add a link that isn't clickable. And what do I mean by this? So for example, if you had services on your site, so you offer different services, but you didn't want to create a page that listed all the services, but in your menu you wanted to have a tab that said services, so that persons would go to that tab, and then when they hovered over it, it would, the different services that you offered would be shown in the drop-down menu. So what you would do here to accomplish that is to put the hashtag or the pound sign, and then you would put the text here that says services, add to menu, and say, for example, one of the services that you wanted to offer was video. So we drag the video below. Excuse me. And we would drag the video out to the right so that it would appear as a sub item of this page. And now once you have customized your menu to your liking, and you can always come back and change this at any time to add new pages, then the final set of settings is if you want to auto add pages. So in other words, it will ask if you want to automatically add new top level pages to this menu, and it's up to you if you want to use this. But if you're creating a custom menu, you may want to be careful about this option, because of course new pages would change the order of your menu. So I won't tick this. And then we have theme locations. So these are the locations for the menus within the theme. And there are two options here. You can see one that says top primary menu and another that says secondary menu in left sidebar. Now the menu that we have been viewing is the top primary menu. And if you don't know where a particular menu is, you could also always just click it and then check your site and see where the change is made, just to know exactly where it is. So I just want to make these changes. I put this custom menu to my top primary menu. So I'm just going to click save. Save menu. Okay, so if we go back over now to our site and we just refresh, then you will see some changes have occurred with our menu. All the items are being displayed exactly how we had them from our custom menu. So about me page is first, our like us page, and this should link to Facebook as we had set up. And if we go back over, then here we have a drop down page, which is another page on our sample page. We have our football page, and if we click on this page, then all our posts that fall under the category of football will be shown on this page. And last but not least, for services, if you clicked on it, as you see I'm clicking here, then it will go nowhere, but once we hover over it, then the video page will be displayed, and if we click on video, then it will take us to that page. Okay, so that is how custom menus work. In this video, we will go through the other options that are available under our settings menu. Now, you may want to do this at the very beginning when you set up your site. Now, I've chosen to do this after we've created some content so that you can see the difference, once you have changed some of these settings. And we just start with the general. As you can see, it's your site title. This would have been set up when you install WordPress. And then you can have a tagline. And okay, so if we go back to our main site, you will see that's going to change the information here, which is the name of the site. And you see it says just another WordPress site. Of course, you don't want your site to say that. And so that tagline will change that. For your WordPress address URL, and if you just basically read what it says here, is enter just here if you want your site homepage to be different from the directory you install WordPress. So if you want to go ahead and change, I really don't suggest that you mess about with this unless you know what you're doing. Okay, and just some more options to change, which are your contact email address, membership, anyone can register, it's totally up to you. The time zone, and this will of course affect your posts. Whenever you make posts, then there's usually a timestamp as to when the posts have been created, and also when there are comments made on your site, and just other general information that may be affected by time. You can just customize this, enter your time zone, the date format, time, and the day that the week starts on. Okay, and remember to save changes. And just remember, not all of these settings you'll be able to see the immediate effect of. If we go back to our home page and we refresh, you'll see that now it says WP Video Sidekick, how to become a WP Pro. And just keep in mind that if you use something like a header or a logo, then in some themes that information may be removed, or you may have the option to keep the text as an overlay on your logo or header. So the next setting here is writing, and most of these are self-explanatory, so we just go through formatting, convert emoticons like to graphics. So if you use, your colons, if you want to create smiley faces, instead of them showing like this, they will show like real graphical smiley faces. And I'm just going to quickly go through these. Default post category. So if you wanted to change the default category, so that, say for example, if most of my posts were going to be about football, and I could change this, so instead of having to change it each time I create a post, then that will be the case. And the same goes for the post format. If you're a video blogger, for example, and most of your posts are going to be video, you could set the standard post format to video. Alright, and there's an option here called press this, and basically it just allows you to grab text, images, etc. from surfing the web to help you if you wanted to publish as posts on your sites. And then there is the post via email. If you wanted to create those posts via email, then you'd have to set up an account, and the instructions are there, you can follow it. Update services. When you publish a new post, WordPress automatically notifies the following site update services. Now, for exposure, this is great. Basically, your posts, etc., will go through Ping-O-Matic, rpc.ping-o-matic, and this just notifies of the sites, the search engines, that you have new content, and it helps to get your posts and pages indexed in search engines and builds exposure for your site. Okay, and okay, I'm going to stop here and pick up in another video. Okay, the next set of settings. Okay, we already looked at the reading settings, so we can go ahead and take a look at the discussion settings, because we looked at the reading settings when we were looking at configuring our blog as a static site or a blog. Okay, so for default article settings under discussion, this controls basically comments and trackbacks and spam on your site. So you should pay attention to this if you're going to allow comments on your site. Attempt to notify any blogs linked from the article, and basically if you link to a site, another site, when you make posts or pages, then WordPress will basically notify these sites. It's basically self-explanatory. We want to allow link notifications from other blogs, it's pingbacks and trackbacks. And basically what will happen is if other websites link to your site, then you would receive a notification similar to when a comment is left, and if you accept the pingbacks or trackbacks, then this will be displayed on the particular post or page that has been linked to say that another site has linked to it. And basically you can, this next option, allow people to post comments on new articles. If you untick this box, then basically you are disallowing comments on your website. And it does say that these settings may be overridden for individual articles. So you could set it generally here, but for specific articles, you could change this. And basically you can just go through these. Comment author must fill out name and email, which you want to do. Users must be registered and logged into comment. automatically close comments on articles after 14 days. You can change the amount of time for this. Enable threaded nested comments, and this will basically affect whether your comments on your site, if you have a lot of comments, will for example, if persons respond to other comments, just how many levels they can go. Break comments into pages. So if you have a lot of comments, if you can set an amount that will be displayed on each page so that your comments will go on into infinity on one page. They will be broken up into separate pages. And then you can display the order for comments, whether old comments or newer comments are shown first. And you can opt to receive a notification whenever anyone posts a comment. And if you get a lot of comments on your site, I will warn you, you will get a lot of notifications. But if you want to control spam, then it's something you will have to look into. And the next option is to comment. Email me whenever a comment is held for moderation. And before a comment appears, comment must be manually approved. Comment author must have a previous approved comment. Now you really have the option to just customize these, allow, disallow. Hold a comment in the queue if it contains 2 or more links. So generally a lot of persons will place comments on your site to get backlinks to their site. And now usually they have an option to place a website when they enter their name and email, and that will create a link. But additionally, they may put links into their comments, and personally I put this to 0, so any links at all. I just don't want people to be linking to anywhere from my site. It can be bad for SEO, and you leave yourself open to a lot of spam. And the comment blacklist, if you find that you have a particular set of emails, IPs, URLs, usernames that are spamming your site, you can just put a list there, and WordPress will automatically block those. And for avatars, you can set the settings whether you want to show avatars, and the rating for avatars, and the default icon if the person does not have an avatar. And just remember to save the changes if you make any. And we've already covered media permalinks, so media is the next one that we would look at. And basically you can, the WordPress thumbnail size, I mentioned earlier that when you upload images, especially larger images, WordPress will create multiple sizes, and these are the default sizes. And you can change this, but really, unless you have specific reasons to do this and you know what you're doing, then you probably don't want to change this. So that's it for the settings. Like I said, you can do this at the very beginning before you start to build content on your site, but I purposely built the site first so that whatever changes were made, you'll be able to see them once you made adjustments to your settings. So that's it for the settings. Okay, so in this video I'm going to cover how we can change a theme on our website. And basically themes control the overall look, the appearance of our website. And so the header, the sidebars, the graphics, all these things, even the fonts. And some themes add additional functionality to your site, and it's quite easy to change it. So if we go back to our dashboard, and to do this, to change it, we go to Appearance and Themes, and there are a couple of ways that we can change our theme. Now we select Add New, and we basically have some settings here as a search function, and this applies to the WordPress repository. Now at WordPress.org, there are thousands, literally thousands, of themes that are available for free for you to download. So you can, if you know the name of the theme that you're looking for, or a specific, say if you're looking for a theme that is responsive, you could type that there. And also you can filter out the search results by looking for themes with specific colors, number of columns, layout, features, subject. Okay, so, and you can also go ahead and check the featured themes, and you can look at themes based on the newest themes, or themes that have been recently updated. Okay, so if I'm just going to go to the newest, and all the themes that you will select from this repository are open source, GPL, under a GPL license, so you are free to use them and do basically whatever you want with them. And this is one of the safest places to get themes. Unfortunately, there are people out there who give away free themes with the intention of adding malicious code, viruses, etc. to your site. But all the themes that have been uploaded to the WordPress repository have been checked, and they have to go through a rigorous, set of qualifications before they can get there. So you can feel pretty safe downloading themes from there. So just keep in mind that if you go and say you search in Google and you look for free themes, that you have to be very careful as to who you get these themes from. Just ensure that they're a trusted theme developer, and you're not putting malicious code on your website. Okay, so I'm just going to just pick a random theme here just to show you what it would look like, and you'll just get kind of a preview here of what the theme will look like on your site. And you can just select install. And then you have the option to look at a live preview with your current content. And you also have, and this is something that we can look at in a little more detail. To customize your site, you can just very quickly from here just change some of this information that we saw in our settings, and our navigation. So you could change the menu that you use if you had more than one custom menu, and your static front page, etc. Okay, now we can just activate this theme, and if we go back to our home page and we refresh, then we will see that the look and feel of our site has totally changed. And that's how easy it is to install a theme from the repository. In the next video, I'll show you how you can also install a theme from zip files. And this, of course, is if you purchase a theme, or even if you get a free theme and you download it, then I'll show you how you can do this as well. Okay, so now we can look at installing a theme from zip files, and the process is similar. If we go back to Appearance, Themes, Add New, and then we would select Upload. And as you can see, there's just a little message that says install a theme in zip format. Okay, so it has to be in a zip format. So wherever you get your theme from, whether you paid for it or it's free, then it needs to be in a zip format and what will happen is that WordPress will unzip it. Now, if you're not familiar with zipping, it just means that the files are compressed, and that just makes it easier to upload to your site, makes it faster, and then WordPress will automatically unzip it and install the file. So I'm just going to go ahead and we choose our file, and you'll be able to select it from your hard drive and then just select install now. And then you just have the message that says theme installed successfully, and again you can do a live preview. We can just go ahead and activate it. And you just have some information here from the theme author, and this will change depending on the type of theme or where you get your theme from. And if we just go back now to our site and refresh, then again you will see that the complete look of our site has changed. And this particular theme has, this is a premium theme, and it does come with some additional features. It has a custom homepage, etc. And I'm not going to get into the customization of the theme, but just to show you that there are some themes, in particular premium themes, that, as you can see, our website now basically looks, bare bones. You're just seeing, because some additional configuration needs to be done. So we just basically would have just gone through the options. It comes with a customized homepage, with specific settings, a featured area, etc., etc. So that's something you would have to go ahead and do. But just for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to show you how easy it was to install the theme through zip files. Okay, so just a quick follow-up to the last video. Whenever we install themes, then to go ahead and customize them, you just have to go back to Appearance and Themes, and usually there will be a link right here that says Customize. And what this option allows you to do is actually to change the information here, and you will see a live preview on the right hand side. So if we were to change this to and you would see it change here. So let me change it back. And so on. So you can change things like the site title. It may differ slightly depending on the particular thing, and that's why I said I didn't want to get into a video about theme settings, because it can vary so much depending on the theme that you're using. You see, this particular theme has 3 different sections for a menu. So you could put your menu in the top bar, the header, or the footer, and then it has the options for the static front page. Okay, well, we don't want to change any of this, but if we just go back, then another way that you can access the same option is to go to Appearance and then Customize. And you'll be able to do the same. Now, some themes will have some additional options. We close this. That may not be available from that screen. And to access it, usually you would see the name of the theme somewhere along the left hand side, or theme op, or a tab that says theme options. So in this case, this theme, even though it's called Business Canvas, it's from the Chimera themes. That's the name of the developer. So you'll be able to access additional theme options. Which you wouldn't have been able to access in the previous page, because, for example, this has a custom home page, and you'd just be able to make changes there. And additionally, sometimes you may find it under the Settings tab. You may find the theme settings directly under the Settings tab under the drop-down menu. So that's just a quick video just to inform you. Oh, and just one more thing. In some themes, once you activate the theme, you will have to go in and adjust your menus, your custom menus, depending on the theme, and to adjust the location of your menu. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is look at how we can install plugins on our site. And I'll just go, to do this, we go to Plugins. And plugins are additional bits of code or software that just extend the functionality of our site. You can do anything from adding a support desk to adding social media. There are video plugins, just about anything that you can think of, there's a plugin for it. And there are some default plugins that would be installed, and just as there were default themes that were installed. And Akismet is just an anti-spam plugin. It's free for basic blog. So if you do allow comments on the site, this may be something that you'd be interested in. Hello Dolly is another plugin that comes pre-installed. Usually I don't use these, however, I have other options that I use for anti-spam. So, and it's a good practice that if you're not using plugins on your site, that you delete them, because they can conflict with each other and cause your site to do some crazy stuff or slow down the processing time of your site. So if you find lags, and of course there are security issues if you're not using a plugin, then you may not update it as regularly as you should because you're not using it. But even if the plugin is not being used, it still may present some vulnerability issues. So if you're not using a plugin, I just advise that you just go ahead and delete it, and all you have to do is just select and delete and apply. Okay? But to add a new plugin, it's really quite simple. It's very similar to adding themes, and you just select add new, and we will see a similar search button that will just allow you to search for the particular plugin. So like I said, there are so many things. If you need a Facebook plugin to help share your posts and pages, there are plugins for WordPress, which is a social media functionality that you can add to for email, for images, for sidebars, shortcodes, YouTube. There's so many options. These are some of the more popular categories, so if you need something in particular, you just go ahead and say you want to have a dig plugin to help share your posts. Then you just type that in, and you will be presented with a list of plugins. The wonderful thing about this is that the plugins will have ratings beside them, which other WordPress users have used too. So these plugins with the darker stars, have received great reviews from other users, and all you'd have to do is you can check out, this is a brief description of the plugin, and all you have to do is just select install now and just confirm that you want to install the plugin, and it really is as simple as that, and the plugin will be installed. And depending on the plugin and what it does, then you'll be presented with some options. And this is of course after you activate the plugin, because you can have plugin installed and not activated. So pardon me, if you just activate it, then usually there will be a link back to the plugin site, so you could find out more about the plugin, and this will link back to either WordPress.org or individual website. And similar to the theme, then there will be an option on the left hand side for you to configure the plugin if there are settings, and sometimes these options may appear under the settings, so it really does vary depending on what the plugin does. Okay, so in the next video I'll show you how to install a plugin from a zip file. In the last video we looked at adding plugins to our site from the WordPress repository, and another way that we can add plugins is from a zip file. So if you have a premium plugin, or if you downloaded a plugin from anywhere other than the repository and you have it in a zip file, then you would just go plugins, add new, and go to upload. Choose file, and then you would just locate it wherever it is on your PC or your Mac, and I have this plugin on my desktop, WP Options, and I will just install. And then again, like I said, whenever the plugin is installed, you will have the option to activate, and then from there you can configure the additional settings if there are any. Right, so once that is done, the uploading of the plugin, you can just activate your plugin, and this particular plugin actually asks for a license key. But you get the gist of how it is to add a plugin. I'm not going to add my license key in this video, of course. And so, like I said, this would fall under the additional configuration or settings once you've activated the plugin. But that's just how simple it is. If you have a plugin from a zip folder, and based on the plugin, you'd know what to do next. So that's how you get it into your site.